Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be another Canadian Soldier Reacts video, and today we're going to be looking at what Army snipers go through at sniper school. So, if you're new to the channel, you may or may not know I am a former Canadian Forces soldier. I was in the 1st Battalion of the Royal Canadian Regiment for 12 years, from 1987 to 1998. And information that's relevant to this video, I was not a sniper. In fact, Canada only passes, I think, like 3 or 4 snipers a year, or maybe even less. I'm not sure. I remember it was some ungodly low number. But I am a reconnaissance patrolman, which is, I'm not going to say as well trained, but I'm going to say similar tactics and similar training as to what these guys do. Obviously, this is a lot harder, but I'll do my best to give you my point of view. So let's take a look.
These soldiers are training to be U.S. Army snipers. Before this 7-week training course is done, more than half of them will be...
So, well, first of all, that's terrible. I'm hoping he's just started. Secondly, this that you're looking at now is either a ghillie shawl or a ghillie suit. And these are basically used as permanent camouflage. A guy will, so I built one of these for my my recce course. And a guy will build one of these and he will keep it and keep improving it. And this, it's interesting. It makes a lot of difference when you're out in the field. And that that cam compact there, I had the exact same one.
Dropped from training.
I think when you actually get down here on the ground and you're actually performing the role of a sniper, it's a lot different from what a lot of people would instantly think. Most of the time you're laying somewhere you don't want to lay for way longer than you thought you would be. And sometimes it's fruitless and sometimes it's not.
Yep.
This.
Again, it's the same thing with reconnaissance. Again, I could be wrong here because I'm not a sniper, but the biggest difference between reconnaissance and sniper that I understand is just the long-range shooting part of it. And in Canada, every soldier fires out to 500 meters. It's my understanding that on the sniper course is held in Gagetown in Canada. At the infantry school or advanced infantry school, I can't remember what it's called, and they shoot at 1 or 1.2 kilometers, if I understand it correctly.
Is the U.S. Army Sniper Course.
Let's go, guy. Keep moving.
Where soldiers from the Army and National Guard learn essential skills in sniper fieldcraft and marksmanship.
Soldiers leaving here are going to leave a more lethal soldier than they were prior to arriving.
That's fair.
There are more than 2,000
interesting.
snipers currently serving in the U.S. Army. Their primary mission? Placing long-range precision fire.
That was interesting. So you heard that sound. That's more of the sound. Now, that may have been a subsonic bullet. I'm not sure. But something that most people don't know is that the sound that you hear in the movies of a suppressed weapon, it's just not accurate. That sound that you just heard is more accurate. And you'll notice these guys are still wearing hearing protection on the range because it's a lot louder than everyone thinks.
On key targets. But being a sniper goes beyond pulling a trigger.
Let's go!
When you're firing out to that range, there's a lot of ballistic calculations that go into it. And in order to be able to get where you need to go, I mean, that's why they're doing these kinds of things. It's interesting. They're doing it, what appears to be in garrison. I guess it's better for training or easier for training. We did similar kinds of things, but we were always in the field when we did it on my recce course.
Insiders spent 2 days at the U.S. Army Sniper Course at Fort Benning, observing different classes at various stages of training, including marksmanship, range estimation, target detection, and stalks.
Interesting. Range estimation, we did that on our 3rd week in battle school. Well, started it. I mean, obviously, these guys are doing a more advanced version. But we started that on week 3 of our battle school. And stalking, we did a lot of stalking exercises, actually, on our wrecking course. And we did escape and evasion, and we did POW training, which I'm not sure if these guys would get into. The stalking is a lot of fun. There was a motto that we used in our stalking exercises, and that was "Be bold in the beginning." When you start, you can take a lot more risks than when you get further along. You're going to have to be a lot slower, a lot more deliberate as you get closer.
To be accepted into the sniper course, prospective students must meet a range of prerequisites, which include passing a psychological evaluation and physical fitness test, achieving expert qualification with the M4 carbine, and receiving a recommendation letter from their battalion commander.
Attributes to make a good sniper.
I would guess that would be the qualification to get into the course.
To attend the United States Army Sniper Course would be a disciplined soldier, the ability to think on their feet, but the ability to grow through updated doctrine.
Although both male and females are eligible for entry, only one female student has attended the course, graduating
Death
in
from afar,
2021.
like it.
I spent 25.
Training is split into 2 categories: fieldcraft and marksmanship.
All right, 5 minutes to dry fire begins now.
During marksmanship training, students get familiarized with 3 different rifles: the M2010 Enhanced Sniper Rifle, the M110 SAS, and the M107.
Shooting has always been the fun thing to do.
So I don't know any of these weapons. In Canada, when I went through, it was the C3 sniper rifle, and it was a 7.62. I think it was bolt action. We got to use it. I don't remember. Long time. This was literally 1987 I took this course.
You know, it's what everyone wants to go do. They want to go shoot.
Working in pairs, students learn to hit targets from 600 to 1,100 meters away, alternating between the shooter and spotter positions.
All right, so.
Yeah, so the longest I ever shot in the infantry with a C7, which is essentially an M16 hardened for winter, was 600 meters. We would regularly shoot from 500 meters. And like I said, I think it's 1,000 to 1,200 meters that they shoot at our sniper school.
You're going to dial 5.4.
Before participating in grade...
Oh, that book that you were just looking at down below there, that's a shooting log, and they actually record every single shot. I know this because I was on the rifle team in 1988 or 89, something like that. Anyway, and we had a shot log or a rifle log, whatever you want to call it, and there was a bullseye there. You had wind conditions, you had sun conditions, you had distance, you had all kinds of things. So you understood how your shot was going to land in every kind of a variable, and we shot thousands of rounds.
At events, the soldiers spend time on the range gathering and confirming dope or data on previous engagements, which includes temperature, altitude, humidity, and even the weight and velocity of their ammunition.
Give me a 7.8 elevation.
This data informs the shooters of how to adjust their rifles in order to hit their targets in any situation.
Morning, target, stand by for wind.
Students also have to account for wind and how to properly read it on the path to their target.
Yeah, and on the path is really important because, and on the longer ranges, you'll actually see flags at multiple stages. So the wind could actually be going in different directions at different distances along the path. Plus, there's a ballistic trajectory to that bullet. And the farther you go out, the more you're actually lobbing the round in. You'll actually have to fire up, and it will have to take a higher trajectory, and it will drop into that target. And you need to know how far that bullet is going to drop for every, meter or 100 meters flown.
2.
So basically they're just looking for the wind, what the elements are doing around them, and then giving wind calls based off that.
Left point 3.
Students use a unit of measurement called milliradians, or
Mils.
mils, represented by the hash marks inside the shooter's scope to determine the wind's effect on their shot.
Left point 7. Left point 7. Left point 7.
So they're just telling the whole 0.5 left or 0.2 left, and it's actually going inside their reticle.
Those were all bad wind calls on my part. You are very bad.
Oh, wow.
Opposite direction in which you need to be calling the wind bed.
They have several opportunities
Ouch. He was calling it in the wrong direction, so he was actually moving his shooter off. That's not good.
to practice reading wind and gather dope with the M2010 ahead of their first graded record fire, which takes place during week 3.
I think this is the part of sniper school that everyone really likes that come here, because they get to shoot, 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 and you don't get to do this a lot in a normal Army world.
Point 8.
I personally love it. That's why I came to sniper school. I love shooting. It's the most time that I've ever gotten on the gun, so it's definitely good practice.
Target's up.
Oh, butts.
Chase. Walk.
Wind becomes an even bigger factor during movers training, where students practice firing at
So this is definitely something we didn't do a lot of. The most that we did, we had figure 12 called snap targets. And the guys would walk them around in the bays, but they wouldn't go further than your actual bay. And the figure 12 target is kind of similar to the black spot on this target. Or maybe the half of the target from here up. But we never had them walking down the bays, and we would have to track them. That's actually a good exercise.
moving targets.
When you go down range, your targetry, i.e. the enemy, doesn't typically want to stay in one spot when you start shooting at them. So this helps them
That's fair.
get into the right mindset and get them the tools and techniques so that they can engage those targets effectively.
Working in pairs, students fire at moving targets ranging from 200 to 600 meters away. And have
Yeah,
2
so that's
minutes
actually 200 to 600 meters is 600 is just a tiny bit long for general infanteer, but in my battalion, 200 to 600 meters was just about the norm.
move between firing positions.
One mil.
I got one.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Shooters measure the target's speed in mils and must factor in their movement when determining where to aim their shot.
Lead's gonna be 0.8. Wind's moving from right to left.
So they're calling out those numeric values in mils based on what they should be holding left, right of the target as it moves across the range.
It's called aiming off or leading, as he was just saying, if the target's moving.
1.2.
All this really entails is you getting an accurate hold in front of the target so that as it moves towards the center of your reticle, you will then fire preemptively so that the bullet will meet with the target as it moves across the range.
It's gonna be a 0.7. Going right to left. Go 1 mil.
It can be very confusing determining what side of the target you should be holding on. Should I be adding mils to the target as I'm going with the wind? Should I be taking mils away as I'm going against the wind?
0.855 times 1.
It is tough. It's very tough.
0.8 hold. Your shooter and the spotter both need to be talking. They both need to be talking about where the wind's coming from and trying to come up with those numbers in their head, so that makes it a little bit easier to do that fast math in your head.
What are you gonna go? Point.
Oh, interesting. He's got a sandbag to rest on.
0.6.
As we start to go deeper and deeper into the training, they get better at it, and we almost have a 100% pass rate with movers.
So when you have a magazine, you're going to want to settle it a little low
Although roughly 50% of the
This is
sniper
interesting.
course involves firing weapons, marksmanship isn't the sole focus of training.
A sniper's secondary mission is to collect and report battlefield information, but 9 times out of 10, that's the mission you're going to end up doing.
In order to collect battlefield information undetected, students must master a wide array of fieldcraft skills.
Yeah, and these are the skills that we were taught in our reconnaissance course. So listen, I'm going to hold it here for this one. We're at 15 minutes into this video, and I'm trying not to make the videos so long because there have been some comments. So I will make a part 2, and we will take a look at the field training portion of this. So thanks for coming out, guys. Please stay tuned for the part 2, hopefully tomorrow. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. That lets you know when I put out more content. And please feel free to comment down below. I love seeing all the comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.